Hello, I'm Willie from the Ozarks, and we are ready for our April the 3rd lesson in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. From the original edition, lesson 93, Light and Joy and Peace Abide in Me. And what we're going to say to ourselves throughout the day is, light and joy and peace abide in me. And you might want to add, my sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. You think you are the home of evil, darkness, and sin. You think if anyone could see the truth about you, he would be repelled, recoiling from you as if from a poisonous snake. You think if what is true about you were revealed to you, you would be struck with horror so intense that you would rush to death by your own hand, living on after seeing this being impossible. Many of us have come from those ideas where we have been influenced to think that we're evil to the core, and that we're miserable sinners. Well, Jesus sees us a different way and had a different gospel for us to learn. Hopefully you'll understand that light and joy and peace abide in us. These are the beliefs so firmly fixed that it is difficult to help you see that they are based on nothing. The idea that you are evil, poisonous like a snake. These are beliefs so firmly fixed that it is difficult to help you see that they are based on nothing. That you have made mistakes is obvious. That you have sought salvation in strange ways, have been deceiving, and afraid of foolish fantasies and savage dreams, and have bowed down to idols made of dust. All this is true by what you now believe. Today we question this, not from the point of view of what you think, but from a very different reference point from which such idle thoughts are meaningless. From the Holy Spirit's reference point, we want to consider. These thoughts are not according to God's will. These weird beliefs He does not share with you. This is enough to prove that they are wrong. But you do not perceive that this is so. Why would you not be overjoyed to be assured that all the evil that you think you did was never done, that all your, in quotes, sins are nothing, that you are as pure and holy as you were created, and that light and joy and peace abide in you? Your image of yourself cannot withstand the will of God. Your pitiful thought of being a sinner cannot withstand the will of God. You think that this is death, but it is life. You think you are destroyed, but you are saved. The self you made is not the Son of God. Therefore, this self does not exist at all. And anything it seems to do and think means nothing. It is neither bad nor good. It is unreal, and nothing more than that. It does not battle with the Son of God. It does not hurt Him, nor attack His peace. It has not changed creation, nor reduced eternal sinlessness to sin and love to hate. What power can this self you made possess when it would contradict the will of God? Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Over and over, this must be repeated until it is accepted. How many times do we need to say it? Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Over and over this must be repeated until it is accepted. It is true. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Nothing can touch it, nor can change what God created as eternal. Again, on that sentence, nothing can touch it, nor can change what God created as eternal. The self you made, evil and full of sin, is meaningless. It's just a belief. And what's a belief? Thought that you keep thinking over and over is how Abraham Hicks defines a belief. An idea that you hold is true, even if it's not. It's your belief. Nothing can touch it, nor can change what God created as eternal. The self you made, evil and full of sin, is meaningless. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God, and light and joy and peace abide in you. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God, and light and joy and peace abide in you. Salvation requires the acceptance of but one thought. You are as God created you, not what you made of yourself. Salvation requires the acceptance of but one thought. You are as God created you, not what you made of yourself. Whatever evil you may think you did, you are as God created you. Whatever mistakes you made, the truth about you is unchanged. Creation is eternal and unalterable. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. You are and will forever be exactly as you were created. Light and joy and peace abide in you because God put them there. And now your beliefs can make a world that, in the dream, in this state where we think that it's real, but we're dreaming that we're miserable, guilty, estranged from God, sinners. But Jesus is telling us here that whatever mistakes you made, the truth about you is unchanged. Creation is eternal and unalterable. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. You are and will forever be exactly as you were created. Light and joy and peace abide in you because God put them there. In our longer exercise periods today, which would be most profitable if done for the first 5 minutes of every waking hour, we will begin by stating the truth about our creation. Light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Then put away your foolish self-images. And spend the rest of the practice period in trying to experience what God has given you in place of what you have decreed for yourself. You are what God created, or what you made. One self is true and the other is not. Try to experience the unity of your one self. Try to appreciate its holiness and the love from which it was created. Try not to interfere with the self which God created as you by hiding its majesty behind the tiny idols of evil and sinfulness you have made to replace it. Let it come into its own. Here you are. This is you. And light and joy and peace abide in you because this is so. You may not be willing or even able to use the first 5 minutes of each hour for these exercises. Try, however, to do so whenever you can. At least remember to repeat these thoughts each hour. Light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Then try to devote at least a minute or so to closing your eyes and realizing that this is a statement of the truth about you. If a situation arises that seems to be disturbing, quickly dispel the illusion of fear by repeating these thoughts again. Light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Should you be tempted to become angry with someone, tell him silently, light and joy and peace abide in you. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God, and I need to remember it. That's why I'm telling you that. Can you imagine being all upset with someone, then all just saying your lesson for the day right there in the flow of your anger, saying, by the way, light and joy and peace abide in you. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God, and I'm going to accept that right now. We could do that, Wouldn't even have to do it out loud. Eventually we'll get it, and we won't even have to get upset with anybody because we'll know it's true, and we'll live in it and bathe our lives in it. We'll decide to value what is real. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. And the last paragraph for today. Light and joy and peace abide in you. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. You can do much for the world's salvation today. You can do much today to bring you closer to accepting the part in salvation which God has assigned to you. And you can do much today to bring the conviction of your mind, to that the idea for the day is true indeed. You can do much today to bring the conviction to your mind that the idea for the day is true indeed. Light and joy and peace abide in you. Light and joy and peace abide in me. Light and joy and peace abide in us. Light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Our sinlessness is guaranteed by God. God doesn't make junk, does he? Light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. All right, let's go back and take a look in our next section of the text reading. And we're ready for the section under true empathy. And did you get anything out of that first sentence yesterday in the introduction? This is in chapter 16, the forgiveness of illusions. To empathize does not mean to join in suffering, for that is what you must refuse to understand. Isn't that something? Anyway, we're gonna and then the little what's he say? Focus your mind only on this. He says, I am not alone, and I would not intrude the past upon my guest. I have invited him, and he is here. I need do nothing except not to interfere. And that was what that was italicized for yesterday. Keep but one thought in mind, and do not lose sight of it, however tempted you may be to judge any situation and determine your response by judging it. Remember, we're supposed to learn to sit quietly by and not judge the situation by our past learning, but ask the Holy Spirit to give us empathy, wisdom, to see what's real. And in the doing of that, we can say, I'm not alone. And I would not intrude the past upon my guest, the Holy Spirit. I have invited him, and he is here. I need do nothing except not to interfere. And that's in bold. Don't interfere. Let God lead the way. Let go and let God. All right, true empathy. While you're turning to true empathy, in the background, I hope you can see, I don't know if you can really see that, but that's pear tree. Always makes good pears. And it's in bloom, but we had a frost yesterday. So I'm kind of, I don't know if it was a hard enough frost. It was just a light one. But, it may have made it to where that tree won't make fruit this year. Okay, well, as you're turning to your section 2, True Empathy, let me tell you about a favorite red lettuce. And this is out of the Baker Creek catalog. It's a brilliant deep red color. And it's called the Merlot, M-E-R-L-O-T. And it's a 55-day, also known as Galactic. Galactic Command. Anyway, Galactic. Reputed to be absolutely the darkest red lettuce in existence, which should make it tops for anthocyanin, which is an antioxidant. It should make it tops in that content as well. It's a leaf lettuce with wavy to frilly leaf margins and very crisp, waxy leaves, excellent bolt resistance, and good cold tolerance for a late fall to winter crop. Recommended as a cutting type for baby greens production or cut and come again harvesting. We feel, along with our friend William Woys Weaver, that this variety is destined to become a classic, and it certainly deserves it. A rich source of potassium and vitamin A. So that's the Merlot red lettuce. All right, our favorite red lettuce, they say in the Baker Creek catalog. Good catalog. Encourage you to look through there and see if you see anything that you like. I like their catalog. I like their seeds. All right, true empathy. True empathy is of him who knows what it is. You will learn his interpretation of it if you let him use your capacity for strength and not for weakness. He will not desert you, but be sure that you desert not him. That's our job, is to welcome our guest. He won't desert us, but be certain that you don't desert him. Humility is strength in this sense only, to recognize and accept the fact that you do not know is to recognize and accept the fact that he does know. So in order for it to be true humility, you can't just stop by saying you don't know. You have to also say, but I am trusting someone who does know. Now you enter the world of humility, the world, the meek shall inherit the earth. They're the ones that listen to the Holy Spirit. They'll literally take it over because of their strength. You are not sure that he will do his part because you have never yet done yours completely. You will not know how to respond to what you do not understand. Be tempted not in this, and yield not to the ego's triumphant use of empathy for its glory. Yield not to the ego's triumphant use of empathy for its glory. The triumph of weakness is not what you would offer to a brother, and yet you know no triumph but this. This is not knowledge, and the form of empathy that would bring this about is so distorted that it would imprison what it would release. The unredeemed cannot redeem, yet they have a Redeemer. Attempt to teach him not. You are the learner. Don't try to teach your Redeemer. You're the learner. He the teacher. Do not confuse your role with his, for this will never bring peace to anyone. Offer your empathy to him, for it is his perception and his strength that you would share. And let him offer you his strength and his perception to be shared through you. Paragraph 7. The meaning of love is lost in any relationship which looks to weakness and hopes to find love there. Let's get that down. The meaning of love is lost in any relationship which looks to weakness and hopes to find love there. The power of love, which is its meaning, lies in the strength of God which hovers over it and blesses it silently by enveloping it in healing wings. Let this be, and do not try to substitute your, end quote, miracle, because it wouldn't be a miracle. Let this be, and do not try to substitute your miracle for this. Okay, let's read those last two sentences again. Make sure you got this. The power of love, which is its meaning, lies in the strength of God, which hovers over it and blesses it silently by enveloping it in healing wings. Let this be, and do not try to substitute your miracle for his. We once said that if a brother asks a foolish thing of you, to do it. But be certain that this does not mean to do a foolish thing that would hurt either him or you. for what would hurt one will hurt the other. Foolish requests are foolish for the simple reason that they conflict, because they contain an element of specialness. Let's read that again. Foolish requests are foolish for the simple reason that they conflict. They're not in harmony with reality. They have a conflict. They have an idea of specialness to them, he says. Foolish requests are foolish for the simple reason that they conflict, because they contain an element of specialness. Instead of just accepting everything as is, we've decided to give some things more value than others from in the world of illusion. And that causes us all kinds of trouble. But foolish requests are foolish for the simple reason that they conflict, because they contain an element of specialness. Only the Holy Spirit recognizes foolish needs as well as real ones, and He will teach you how to meet both without losing either. Wow, what a wonderful assurance and promise to rest in. Just give your problems to the Holy One, and He will. Look what He says. He says of the Holy Spirit, only the Holy Spirit recognizes foolish needs as well as real ones, and He will teach you how to meet both without losing either. You don't get to meet all your needs, even the ones that aren't real. He's going to teach you how to meet all your needs in harmony with the Holy Spirit, the wisdom of God. He will teach you how to meet both without losing either. You will attempt to do this only in secrecy, and you will think that by meeting the needs of one, you do not jeopardize another because you keep them separate and secret from each other. That is not the way, for it leads not to light and truth. We want to walk in the light. No needs will long be left unmet if you leave them all to Him whose function is to meet them. That is His function and not yours. He will not meet them secretly, for He would share everything you give through Him, and that is why He gives it. What you give through Him is for the whole sonship, not for part of it. Leave Him His function, for He will fulfill it if you but ask Him to enter your relationships and bless them for you. Wow, look at that. Just what you give through Him is for the whole sonship, not for part of it. Leave Him His function, for He would fulfill it if you but ask Him, ask the Holy Spirit, to enter your relationships and bless them for you. Just step back and let Him lead the way. All right. Light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Be sure to take your 5 minutes at the beginning of each hour, or at least a moment, and say to yourself, light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God. And let that enrich you, and see all your brothers and sisters that you see with your eyes and think with your mind today in that context. Light and joy and peace abide in you. Your sinlessness is guaranteed by God. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until tomorrow, light and joy and peace abide in me. My sinlessness is guaranteed by God.